What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we are in my garage. Made it back home safely. Last little update on the Z was that this still has a hole in it. I took the car around the block today, and I mean, it's fine for now, but I have been talking to a couple fabricators that I'm going to take this to just to get fixed because I hate it. But moving along to the back here, we're finally going to do something that this car has needed probably since the day I bought it, to be honest. But yeah, baby, look at that diff. She's leaking. Diff bushing is atrocious. So I'm gonna begin on the process of dropping the diff, taking the axles off, the drive shaft off. Probably gonna have to take my exhaust off. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today. Gonna get it pretty much prepped so that once the bushings get here, I can go ahead and just slide them in. My buddy Tommy might actually be sliding up because he's a pro at this. He's done it like 3 or 4 times. So having his guidance will definitely be beneficial for this install. So stay tuned, guys, while I take apart everything to drop the diff. Alright, guys, so I went ahead and I took the exhaust off. Pretty simple, just those 2 bolts. I went ahead and removed the drive shaft as well. It's 4 17 millimeters here in the back. If you may know or not know. So that's the first 2 things you're gonna have to do. Then this depends if you have a diff brace or not, but I took my diff brace off because obviously I'm gonna need to remove it to drop the diff. I am working on right now taking the axles off. So pretty much once you have the drive shaft off and then you have the axles off, the diff is pretty much ready to be dropped. It has this one bolt right there, which as you can see, my diff pushing is trash. And then it has those 2 bolts holding it up right there. So yeah, so it shouldn't be too hard once I get these axles off, and then we'll check in with you. Alright, guys, so we went ahead and got the diff dropped. It's the 6 bolts from each axle on each side, and then like I said earlier, it has 3 mounting locations, 1 to the subframe and then 2 here to the frame of the car. So right now what we're trying to do is we're trying to hammer these bushings out. This is probably one of the hardest parts of this whole job, but once we get those out, we'll probably call it a day, and then I'm gonna work on the subframe one either tomorrow or later on, and then because we still gotta wait for the bushing, so let's see if this works. Watch your hand, yeah, watch your hand. Hey, it's working. Yeah. Hey.
Here's one.
Nice.
This one, I think I need a little bigger socket because the bushing is a little bigger on this bush for whatever reason. But you don't have a bigger socket?
That's as big as I got.
Be a little bit hard. It's like just enough. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. I need a bigger socket. You don't have a bigger socket?
Alright, guys, well, this side came out pretty easy. This side's being rather difficult. So I have this little torch here that I'm gonna pray and see if this starts catching fire. Oh, it's working. Because if this catches fire, that's fine. That's technically what I needed to do, is melt the bushing out of it and then take one of those things over there and hammer it. There it is. Yeah, it's catch fire.
You want to try to lift this up a little bit?
I should.
Get like a piece of wood or something?
Watch out. Alright guys, so after busting our ass trying to get this one bushing out, we finally got it. All I can suggest is a lot of patience, a lot of hammering, big sockets, big flatheads, and start praying. But we did get it scuffed up a little bit around the edge, but I'll probably just hit that with a little bit of sandpaper just to make that cleaned up. I did leak all the fluid everywhere, but whatever, we're gonna replace that anyway. So for now, just I'm letting it be. But yeah, so tomorrow I'll go ahead and drain the diff, probably get the front cover off, go ahead and maybe reseal it, and then yeah, wait till the bushings get in, and wait till Tommy can come up, because I do need Tommy's help for the subframe bushing. And then we'll go from there. Off that drain bolt, getting that all drained out now. Once that's completely done, what I am gonna do is take the whole cover off. I gotta run to AutoZone and get some RTV and some brake clean just to clean this all up. And then we'll get it all resealed. We'll put all the drain bolts back in, and then essentially just be ready for fluid whenever the bushings and the fluid get here. Hi, bud. Say hello. Say hello. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Alright, guys. Well, as you saw in that time lapse, went ahead and got the diff cover taken apart. It's pretty cool doing this because it's my first time doing it, so kind of glad I am doing it because I feel like it's going to be a huge upgrade. But yeah, so I'm just going to let whatever's left in there drain out, and then I got to go to the auto parts store, get some brake cleaner, get some RTV. I'm going to clean all the surfaces up, put a nice bead all around here, plop that there, bolt it down, and then we should be good on the reseal. I am still waiting on the fluid and the bushings, but like I said, once those get here, we'll attack that as well. So over here, we got the cover. I just had that all cleaned off. Now what I am gonna do is, this is kind of janky and ugly, so I'm probably just gonna slap a coat of paint on it, maybe like some wrinkle black or something, just to kind of make it look a little bit better. But yep. So after I get that painted and it's nice, I'll go ahead and reseal the diff, and yeah. So stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so as you can see, my little paint booth over here, just gonna give it some wrinkle black. It's ugly and dirty, so I might as well just slap a coat of paint on it. But yep, hopefully it looks better than this crusty ass stuff that's on there now. But yeah, I'll check in after the first one. Alright guys, well, I'm not a painter, but it definitely looks a little bit better than it did, for sure. So that'll be you know, whatever, just better than having a dirty ass cover. So alright guys, sorry about the background noise. People decided they wanted to build a house today, but anyway, pretty much I cleaned all this up. Surface is all clean, and this is really pretty much ready to go. All I gotta do is wait for this to dry. I'll be honest, kind of looks like garbage, but better than what it did look like. So we'll go ahead and wait for that to dry. Then I'm gonna make sure that that surface is 100% squeaky clean. We'll go ahead and put the RTV on it, and then put the cover back on the diff. Alright guys, so we are back at the house. Diff cover came out decent enough. Still kind of looks like hard garbage, but whatever. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this over, apply silicone all around, and then go ahead and mount it back up on the diff. We got Andrew over here helping me out, so hopefully this goes smoothly. I should have used a fucking gun for this, but whatever. So close to that. Yeah, it's terrible. spot on the bottom. Really gotta squeeze that, dude. Alright guys, so it's also like 130 degrees by the way. But the diff is on. Yeah, I put a lot of silicone, but whatever. I'm gonna clean it up once it dries. I'll cut the little excess off. But it's sealed. So for now, the next thing is waiting on those diff bushings. They should be here probably early next week. We'll go ahead and get those installed, get the diff back in the car, and then close out this video. Alright guys, when I tell you that I started this morning and you know, I came down here and I was like, oh, let's see what's up with this diff bushing. Bruh, what a mission. I still need to get the sleeve out, and I didn't really record because like I said, I came down here just to see like if I could actually put a dent in anything, and I actually got the whole bushing out, so I'm kind of happy for that. So the first thing I did was when the bushing was in here, obviously there's rubber all around, so I took a 3/8 drill bit and I just drilled all around the bushing, and then pretty much just stuck a flathead through the actual hole, giggity, and you know, just pried it, moved it left, right, up and down, and then eventually I got enough slack where I was able to pull the whole bushing out. So that's what it looks. I mean, you could see I kind of nicked the sleeve, but that's not a big deal because that's getting taken off anyway. So next thing I'm probably gonna do is clean up some of this rubber that's still stuck in here. It's like, looks a little awkward there, but anyway, you know, clean up the rubber that's in there, and then we have to take this sleeve out. What I heard of a lot of people doing is using like a sawzall and just kind of making a slit in it so that we can knock it out with a flathead and a hammer, but that'll be for the next clip. This was just a big step in the right direction, so yeah. But I will tell you guys, this is not for the weak. This is definitely a time-consuming job. Getting the rubber bushings out of there are a pain in the ass. So yeah, but hope you guys are enjoying it. Alright guys, welcome back for another clip. A little hectic day today. I picked up a part out car, extra parts, trailer, friends, crazy day. But we got my boy Tommy over here. He's the man when it comes to these subframe sleeves. So as you can see, he cut a slit in the middle of it, and then once that slit's cut, it's pretty much weakening the whole structure. And he's using the good almighty flathead and a hammer there, and we're gonna bang that thing out. So I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse so you can see that this is not fun, but it's worth it. Alright guys, so finally Tommy got the sleeve out. Huge shout out to my boy for doing that for me, because he's this is probably like his 8th time doing this. And what I've heard is that a lot of people when they try to take that sleeve out, pretty much gouge or, you know, make marks in the subframe, which, you know, later you got to sand out or make smooth again. And from the look of it, it looks pretty good all around. Thanks. So here's what that thing looked like. It's pretty wild, but here's where Tommy made the cut, and then, you know, started to bend it and pry it so that we were able to pretty much take out the whole sleeve. So next thing up is the diff bushing should be in the mail tomorrow. Probably won't check back in for at least a day, put them in the freezer, and then we'll get those puppies installed. All right guys, finally the moment we've been waiting for. The solid diff bushings are in. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now is put them in the freezer overnight. I heard it's a really good trick to get the bushing to kind of shrink a little bit so that it's easier to install. So let's go ahead and get those in there, and then we'll check back tomorrow.
Alright guys, oh man, this lens is gross. Alright guys, so I got the smaller diff bushings out of the freezer. They are pretty much freaking frozen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plop those in. I am gonna do the subframe one in the next clip. I'm gonna wait a day because I want that one to be super frozen so that it just pops in there. But let's go ahead and get these slapped in. Alright guys, so we finally got them in. One side was super easy, one side was super rough. SPL does provide this little driver, they call it. So as you can see, it has hammer marks all on it because you just put it over that and then start swinging away. I'm gonna wait, like I said, to do the subframe one in the next clip, which would be tomorrow, but that way I can have a little bit of help here when I go ahead and put the diff back. And yeah, so it's coming along great. I'm sure I'm gonna hear a lot of noise back here, but at least I know this diff won't be going anywhere. So that's awesome.
Alright guys, so I finally got the subframe bushing in. I didn't record it because probably wouldn't have been as good, just because I probably cursed every 2 seconds while installing that. But yeah, I'm gonna set you up on a time lapse so we can go ahead and put the diff back.
Alright guys, so as you can see, we got everything put back together. I haven't even driven it yet. I just got that all installed. And another little quick update, as you guys saw in the beginning of this video, I was explaining about that intercooler pipe that had a hole in it, and we got that fixed. Shout out to Bell Raceworks. I'll put his little Instagram down here. Killed it with this pipe. Didn't even have the car there, and he made it work perfectly. So that's a big bonus as well. As you guys can see, got the Z here. Probably gonna take it out for a test drive, see how she is, and then might take it to the track. So stay tuned for that in the next video. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, we appreciate it all. Peace.